everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. So I'm here today with something kind of fun. This is my new digital that's in my shop. I sort of came up with this fun idea that I hope you will appreciate as much as I do. If you've been here for a little while, you kind of know how my brain works, and I think this will make sense to you. But if not, welcome to the inner workings of my mind. So this is Owl Mother of Gnomes. So this is like a little fun ephemera stuffed pocket it's two pockets actually of owls. So we have these two beauties here. One is like a side preview and one is a front view, and you'll see these little scoop kind of marks here, these little cutout marks. Those are guides for what we're going to do. Then we have this, which is the backing. This backing is actually optional. Why do we have these little scoops in these owls? Well, these babies, these little gnomelings, are going to live in these little pouches in this owl. So you can decide if you want to glue it down to a page or to another piece of paper, or if you want to glue it down to this backing, which is, sized to the size of the owls. So I thought we could make this together as just a fun video, and you'll get to see the Owl Mother of Gnomes, and hopefully you will like her. So both of them. So I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to fussy cut them out. I did some shading around the gnomes, but I did not shade around the owls. The reason why is because actually this is a pretty easy to cut out fussy cut, even if you were going to go right up to the edges of the whole picture. I'm not going to, because I'm going to ink it, and I'll show you just how quick and easy it is to use this digital. So we'll just get our owls cut out first here. Okay, I'm just going to cut around here. I'm not going to cut the middle out at this time because I'm going to ink it instead. So this one here, and then we'll do this one too. We'll just get them both cut out real quick. Like you'll see, there's no complex lines to worry about fussy cutting. So I decided to make these because I have some more garden gnome journals planned in the future, and I thought that they would be fun little add-ins for those journals. So that will be that's a little foreshadowing into the future of what I'll be working on, but we have a little more to do before then. So now for this one we need 5 gnomes, and for this one we need 7 gnomes, but I've given you like a whole page of them. There are 3 different gnomes in total, and I thought you could just kind of mix and match them however you would like. So I'm going to, let me see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 per row. So I'm going to need the whole first row. Yeah. So we'll go with these 1 2 3 4 5. Will be for this bird. Then we will go with these 7 for the other owl. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just take a little quick break, and I'm going to fussy cut these out, so you don't have to watch me like fussy cut them out, and then I will come right back and we will continue this project. Okay, so we have all of our little gnomes cut out and our owls. So now what I'm going to do is just leave these here and those there. They all go together. And then I'm going to use a craft knife here to just make a little cut in my little scooped section here. So, you know, just be a little careful. Don't go too quickly. And just make your little hole so you have a slit here. Now what you're going to do is you're going to use your gnome as kind of a a place marker for how big we're going to have to cut this. The scoop that I've drew here is just a guide, but probably these are going to need to get a little bit bigger to actually fit your gnomes. So just come in with your scissors, or your razor knife would be a little easier, and just extend it a little more. It doesn't take much, it's just, you know, a little line, it's not hard. And then grab your little gnome again and just see if he fits. If he fits in here, and he does, he's coming through considerably better now. You just pop him in like this, and there he is. Now you can decide if you want to make it even a little bigger to be able to take these out, or you can even keep them trapped. It's up to you. I would say to just make it big enough to get out, but not like super huge, because you don't want them to be like falling, you know, inside. We want them to stay in the mother owl like so, right? So let's take a look how far past the scoop. Honestly, maybe not even a centimeter, not even a half a centimeter. Let's see. Yeah, about a half a centimeter on either side of where I've drawn the guides is what you need to do. So let's go ahead and do that for all of them. So we're just going to go along and just cut here. You may find it easier to do this with a small craft knife if you're not comfortable using one of these razor knives. I use these often though for like removing, you know, books from their spines and that sort of thing. So I'm very familiar with using them. Just be careful. And always make sure that like your blade is decently sharp and new. Like snap a new one if you need to. Don't work with a dull blade, because that's bad news. Okay. Okay, so now we've got all 5 slots cut. Now what I'm going to do before I put my gnomes in, I want to kind of cover up where they've been drawn, right? We don't necessarily want those white lines. So just go in with a little, an ink of your choosing. I'm using Vintage Photo, and it's going to get rid of the brown. And also the paper core, if you got any paper core, if you were a little jaggedy in how you were cutting. My cutting is quite clean. It's not too bad. And you can also take this opportunity if you want to go around and ink the edges of the owl. We'll do that as well. I'm just going to ink these leaves up a little heavy too, because I like them browner. And then obviously you have the option of going in and cutting these inserts out. I'm just going to ink mine. I don't feel like they need to be cut. Okay. So now let's put our little gnomes in. I'm just going to go in from the back and just slide them up, just like I did that first one. Just kind of, you know, tilt them a little so they're not blocking each other. No fights are occurring. I want the blue one. I'm just trying to mix, like, so it's like not the exact same color against each other. There we go, one more to go. Okay, look at how cute that is. I mean, come on, it's so cute. Okay, see? All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the same thing I just did with this owl. I'm just going to do it in like a quicker speed. Okay, so now we have our little gnomes inside our owls. Now what I'm going to do to use this background, I'll show you. It's very, very simple. So I'm going to actually, because I want this whole thing to be inked around in brown, I'm going to go around the outline here, and I'm just going to do like a soft inking right around the two owls, like so. Because what you'll do is you're going to leave a little bit of an edge around the owls in order to make the cutout a bit bigger so that you can then connect the, or glue down the actual image of the owl with the gnomes on top of here. So leave a generous border. Keeping in mind you can always go back and you can bring it down when you have completed your gluing. So let's just do like maybe about a centimeter of border. And that will give us a nice amount of space to work with. So there's one. Okay, two. Right, so now the objective here is to turn these into, you know, pockets. They could be floating pockets with writing space on the back. So see how this will sit on here and be like a nice backing shadow? You have options here, okay? So you can now glue, you know, just down here and have, you know, maybe just glue underneath where the gnomes are. Careful not to glue them down if you do want them to come out. Maybe some people will want them to be stuck in. I think it would be cute either way, but you could glue sort of here around the gnomes and have this still be a little tuck area if you wanted to, or you can glue it down completely, and when you glue the whole thing down, if you don't want it to be a floating journal card type thing or a pocket, you could then just glue like an L shape here, and that will be your pocket behind, right? So as always, paper gives you a lot of nice options. So what I'm going to do is come here on the back, and I'm going to glue right underneath them here, and then on this side as well. I don't want to glue them into the pocket. I want them to be removable, so I'm not going to get, you know, really zealous with my glue here. And I'm using art glitter glue. Now over here you can add glue, and up here you can add glue. Okay, and that's going to mean that I'm not trapping anything. I'm not going to use this as a pocket, but I'm also not trapping my gnomes in. And when you're gluing, push your glue this way, not toward your gnomes. You don't want to trap your gnomes, right? And up here, upward. Just pull away from your gnomes because you don't want to trap them. We want them to be able to go in and out of these little slots even after this is glued down. Now, what I would recommend is you while this is drying, leave them in there because it will be a little hard, but you can use a scissor. I just like to kind of demonstrate, right? You can just use a scissor just to kind of open that up. And you know, now that I'm thinking about this as I build it, I'll show you on the next one. A better idea when you're gluing is to just glue just the edge. That's going to make things a heck of a lot easier. Then you won't have to, like, you know, worry about any glue getting near your gnomes. Let me demonstrate that on this one. So as noted, this one has a lot more gnomes, right? So, well, a couple more. So instead of gluing like all of this in, right, I'm just going to glue just the very edge of the bird, like so, because you don't need all that glue in the middle. You really don't, because it's the edge is enough to hold it down. There we go. Whoopsie. And just glue down onto here. Perfect. And then just push your glue outward, not toward your gnomes, right? You don't want to glue them in. Okay. Yep, and they're nice and loose. All of them can move. Just give them a wiggle. You know, just give each one a wiggle. Make sure he's not glued in, that he can come out if he wants to. This one, give him a wiggle. Yeah, he's okay. And then this one, give him a wiggle, he's okay. All right, so they're all fine. And then I'm just going to do the same thing I did before. I'm just going to lift this with my scissor just to make sure it's all open. It is. And their bums are the widest part, so that's the hardest part to kind of fit in here. Be easier if, once this is dry. There we go. Yeah, so just be careful with the glue at the edges. There we go. There we go. I want him to just... There, I like that actually. And the other thing with this too is if you find, like if you get, like let's say this one's too hard to get in, if it's stuck, you know, you'll be able to go in with your scissor, because this is a gap, and like say you wanted to open it up a little more, you could. If you wanted to like cut a little further into here, if the glue stuck, you could do this, you know, you could add a little more space. It's not going to hurt anything, right? So yeah, if anything, it just gives him a little bit of a wider seat so that he fits in a little faster and easier. I did the minimum when I first cut them, you know, to get them in there. So you can definitely add a little more space. I also think this would be cute if they were just glued down in there, like just their bums, but their heads could have a little bit of, you know, popping up. So yeah, that is my little project I wanted to share with you. I'm super happy with it. I think it's really cute. Let's take a look at what our options would be on a journal page. Let me grab a journal page. Let's just go into one of my fairy journals here and open this up, and let's say we want to use, let's find a page that's not super busy. These are the busy pages. This one's okay. So say we wanted to use maybe this green page. We wanted to put this owl here. So here he is as just a little glue down, or you could use him as a tuck in with journal space on back, or, you know, glue him down, just glue just this edge, just these two edges, bottom and side, and then you can tuck something in here, and then you've got all these little sweet peas that could be ephemera for the journal. And the other nice thing is, because we did the inking on top, is even if you decided to pull all these gnomes out and use them throughout your journal, you'd still just have a really cute little owl pocket. But also, because this digital you're getting a lot of gnomes, you could include some extras if you wanted to do that. So yeah, that is the Owl Mother of Gnomes digital, and you can find that in my shop. It is on Etsy. I'm Studioloo. You can find in the links down below this video. My shop link is there, and these little sweet peas, they want to come home with you. So thank you for hanging out with me, and have a lovely day. Bye for now.